Trend days can be really tough for a lot of people. So in this video, we're going to figure out how to identify the trend. Early trend identification is important because the tools that you use on a range day can be the exact things that get you in trouble on a trend day. For those of you new here, my name is Forrest. I'm a day trader. I invest in stuff. Currently headed over to my studio where we're going to do this video, but figured it'd be cool to get a little intro here on or inside the car. So what's the difference between a range day and a trend day, okay? A trend day is, you can imagine just looking at the daily chart, it opens and closes very far away from the opening price, right? So think of like a doji candle, you know, has a top wick, bottom wick, and for small body doji, right, the open and close could be very close together. So a trend day in general is defined by, you know, consecutive hours of price action moving in really one direction. It goes through a key level like the overnight high or low or previous day high or low and keeps running right in that direction through that key level. It often signifies really on the higher time frames that the market is making a move. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the charts, and I'm going to show you some ways that you can identify that a trend day is about to occur early. Of course, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to get this video and all the others, as well as to stay tapped in with what MyFundedFutures has for you coming next, including future promotions, things like that. We do giveaways. I do giveaways. I know you guys love giveaways. So if you want to be a part of the next giveaway, then hit that subscribe button so that you can be notified early. Yeah, we could finish this up in the studio. So this is something that we talked about with a few people in our own Discord, just trend day identification. So what we want to actually come up with is a narrative for the week, right? So a lot of people will look at the last few candles and they'll try to figure out what's going to happen across the next few hours. What you should really do is think about the market in its entirety, and that just makes it a lot easier to zoom out. Now I'm using TradingView on my iPad for this, right? So you really like trading on the iPad. It's a great tool. So if you're not familiar with TradingView, if you're using other tools, it's just an app. There's also a website for it. I do use TradingView Premium, so you might be able to get your charts exactly like this. Nonetheless, all that I have on my screen configured right now is the volume profile, right, per session, as well as the visible range on the right. So what we're going to do here is we're actually going to get rid of the visible range for now, and we're going to hit the replay tool, possibly if I can on my iPad. Let's see here. Can I go bar replay? And we want to go back to Thursday's close. So we want to go right there. We're on the 15-minute, and there's a few things that we can notice about this market. Okay, so literally that's Thursday there. This is Friday and then Monday. So if you can't recall the narrative of this week prior, it was like this. Monday and Tuesday we had no tier 1 data. Wednesday and Thursday we had tier 1 data. And then Friday was another non-data day. So what's interesting about that is if we actually look at Monday through, this is Monday's price action, had a little, you know, overnight sell off into the morning, but it's ranged. These point controls are stacked on top of each other. Wednesday, right? Remember, Wednesday and Thursday. So here's Wednesday and here's Thursday, right? Where I ended my replay. Tier 1 news, CPI and PPI. You would expect maybe some really massive moves in the market, but we didn't get that, right? We had more of a range day. And then we had this very bearish close on Thursday. So the week as a whole had a lot of catalysts for volatility injected to it, but there wasn't really a reaction to that, right? So that's a really important data point, right? No data, no data, 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 no data, okay? Really, really important narrative for the week. And we had this bearish close, and we're at all-time highs, okay? So if I zoom out from the 15, go to the 4-hour on this chart, you can see that M&Q was at all-time highs. It kind of messed up my replay here, but that's okay. But you can see that we're at all-time highs. So when we're at all-time highs, there's straight up price discovery above us, and below us was a very big low value area on the higher time frames, right? Because we had ripped up, there's low value on the visible range. And so let's really talk about this close on Thursday, right? And this is a really important data point here. Within this session, okay, we have this D-shaped profile. And then at the end of the day, really these last few bars here built this node lower. Okay, so they built value into the close. They were running away from the core of the auction. The point of control is the place within whatever your time frame is where most people participated, right? We're really looking at market participation. This is very bearish, right? So for people to show up to the game, for people to show up to the auction at the last minute and say, you know what, we're gonna run this thing lower, really that's sellers competing, right? The reason that the market moves in either direction is due to, aggressors competing, right? So when sellers are competing and the size of the seller competition is bigger than the size of the buyer competition, the price moves lower. They did that into the bell, but that's a little bit different than if you look at these prior closes where the market closed at the point of control or right around the point of control. Okay. So I know my chart's a little bit messy there, but you can see how it's very, very different to close the market at the point of control than to close it, bearish, right? So bearish close, okay? Now this close here signals the beginning of a trend, right? Now, how do we know that we're gonna trend? Well, let's take a zoom out. What is below us here, right? This is a very downside continuation setup on the volume profile regardless. But if we go out to the 4-hour time frame, let's add our visible range and we'll get rid of the session. Look where we are, okay? All low value, okay? This entire area here, let me get my rectangle tool. Let's do from here to here, okay? That entire box is low value. And look where we ripped through. It actually goes down a little bit down to here, right to the top of the shelf, okay? So you should suspect that we're gonna rip through low value. Why? Well, if you haven't watched any of my videos, right? Volume profile trader, there's nobody here, okay? So where we lack market participation, we should expect the market to rip through until they find participants. Well, where are the next participants? They're right down here, okay? And that is how you can identify a trend day. It's actually really a lot more simpler than people think. You guys are just doing your analysis in the wrong order of operations. A lot of you guys are looking at 5 and 15-minute candles and trying to figure out what's gonna happen on this really big time frame, where really it's like we just have a low value area below us, right? We can see that the market at all-time highs was weak, right? Look at the shape of this auction here at the highs, okay? It's slanted downwards like this. The slope of the auction is like this at the high, so it's getting weak, right? Some people call this a flag, but really it's weakness, right? We have lower highs and lower lows and a huge low value area below us and a bearish close on a week where we had a lot of supposed volatility injected into the market. I haven't even talked about the VIX here. We can actually go over to the VIX, right? So let's take a peek at the VIX, guys. And you can see that the VIX was primed for this move as well, right? So we'll load up the VIX really quickly. I don't really talk about the VIX a lot on here, but it is something that we watch quite a bit often. So look at this gap down on the VIX coincided with the rip upwards, right? And then as soon as the VIX got to the low of this channel, you can see the VIX has this overall shape. It punctured the low here, find support. What do you think is gonna happen when the VIX starts to creep up, right? Market goes down. It's really that simple, right? So there was a lot of confluence there for at least that one single down day. You can do this across different time frames, right? So you can start on the monthly, look at the weekly for the beginning of weekly trends, et cetera, et cetera. So try this on your own, 100%, do TA on the charts using the volume profile. If this was useful, definitely subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more videos. It is my passion and purpose to get people interested in the markets and help them with trading as much as possible. If you're looking for a day trading home, of course, check out Trade Edge. We are a day trading community where we help people navigate the markets. And of course, if you want to get yourself a new account with MyFundedFutures, please do use my link, help a brother out. See you in the next video. Peace.